So hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's me, Dr.Ramhari around here. So today we'll be talking about how to become a registered doctor in the United States after passing MBBS in our respective country. And if you are new to my channel, please hit subscribe, like, and share so that it reaches everyone. And we are going to talk about the USMLE journey, how to begin the process. We'll talk about the registration, the form, making the USMLE ID. We'll be talking about the notary form. We'll be talking about the different step exams. What are the materials that is used? We'll be talking about like how long the exam occurs and what are the number of the questions that is asked during the different three-step exams. Not only that, the entire cost of the journey and how much the registered doctor in the United States on, and also we're talking about how much the resident in different field, like the subspecialty ons, like the pediatrics or the internal medicine or diagnostic radiology, which the international medical graduates usually get as an IMG. But the surgery is also one of the challenging subspecialty, which the doctors can get into the United States. So home country residency usually help, and the year of graduation, like after 5 years, there is cut off like the programs have specific years that they can only we can that the candidate can apply to their program. So we'll be talking everything about the details about the process. So let's begin our so today we'll begin with the mastering the USMLE journey. So, as we know that it's not a single exam that we give usually like a common entrance exam, and then we get inside the MD in the United States. So here we have to give multiple exams, and there's a lot of processes that runs. So usually the cycle starts at September end, and the maths day, like the result when we get our MD seat, comes on March 14. So we need to plan like giving USMLE step 1 and step 2 exam and becoming ECFMG certification is not must like while applying, but most of the programs have the criteria like we need to be ECFMG certified at the time of applying, but it's not for all the programs. After we give like step 1 and step 2 exam, we can still apply to the programs. So that's a far journey, but how to begin the registration process. So we'll be talking about all those things, and let's begin. So mastering the USMLE, embark on the journey to become a licensed physician in the United States through USMLE. The comprehensive guide will walk you through each step of the process from exam preparation to residency match. So this is my journey of the USMLE, where I have divided that steps into different parts. So first, it begins with the registration of the process, and then we'll be giving the step 1 exam, step 2 exam, or OET, which is a occupational English test, and then we have the step 3 exam. So step 3 exam is meant for just for the visa process. If you want the H-1B visa, you need to give step 3 exam before at the end of the before starting the residency. So these are the different processes that I got the rotation in the different places in the United States, and even did some volunteer works, make some paper presentation in the Nepalese conference in the Texas, and these are the Nepalese doctor in the Texas. And then finally we have to learn about the ERAS application, which I'll be talking in detail. So how much does the earning per year does the doctor make in the United States? So if someone get into the residency, like for the internal medicine or maybe for pediatrics, diagnostic radiologist or surgery, Usually the range for the resident in any subspecialty is $55,000 to $78,000. And when one finishes the residency, one can become a hospitalist or can do some later on can do some fellowship. So for the hospitalist, the job, it depends upon like the place where we are uh, trying to work, like and the year of experiences. So the range is usually $260,000 to $350,000. It's per year. So after fellowship in internal medicine, it usually ranges from 350,000 to $550,000. Radiologist or diagnostic radiologist, they have to prepare, like the residency time is 5 years, and 1 year they do the fellowship. So at the end of that, they usually earn $400,000 to $600,000. And based on the experiences and the area you're working, um, uh, the doctors can earn from $1 to $2 million and even more. So how to prepare for USMLE journey? It's a journey. So you need to start early, utilize different resources and practice. So you need to have patience when you are going through the USMLE journey. Uh, you have to take a target of like 1 to 2 years, and in order to begin the process, you just need the valid passport. So how to begin the process? So at first, we need to check if the medical school is in the world directory or not. So for that, we need to go to the website wdoms.org. So before 2024, this is the place where the individual colleges is found is to be registered in the uh, ECFMG or not. But after 2024, the WFME is going to come, and that is what happens is that it will be looking over the Nepal Medical Council, like different countries medical council. If mm, like the different colleges of that country is registered in their council country, then they can apply. So our Nepal has also begun the process, and after 2024, even if the process of the registration of Nepal Medical Council get registered, it will not be difficult for anyone to apply for the process. So how now the first thing is, will you have to check your colleges that is being registered or not before 2024. So we'll be talking about that in detail, like how the process occurs. So first, in order to make the USMLE identification number, we have to go to the website ECFMG.org. Then we have to click on the online services, and then the physician, that comes a physician blog, and then we need to interact with the web application, and then it takes around like 10 to 14 business days in order to get the USMLE ID number. And then again with that, you have to log in the USMLE ID number on the same website, like going to the ecfmg.org, and then we have to fill up the form of 186 form, do the notary, and get the initial portion to be done. So during this process from the United States, a personal professional person will be calling, and then they will see your passport that it matches your face or not with that, and they will even sign that through during that time. So we'll be talking about these things in detail because um, that's very necessary initial step. So when you go to the World Directory of Medical School, wdoms.org, then you can include, write down your country, medical school name, city, and then if you go for search, then your college is registered or not can be found out through the process. So I did for mine, like I studied from Nepalese Army Institute of Health Sciences, which is in Kathmandu, Nepal, and it shows that it has been registered under it. So if you apply for ECFMG registration before 2024, your form, your degree will be valid for next upcoming 5 years, even after 2024. But after 2024, if you apply, you after giving USMLE step one exam, it is valid for 7 years. At meantime, you can give like step two exam at any time you want. So how the process begins is after you go to ecfmg.org, I'm explaining everything in detail so that it becomes very easy for you to register the process. So you can go to ecfmg.org and then click the online services. After you click the online services and you drag down, there is a for physician, and then you have to click the use the interactive web application. So after you put on these things, like click on this page, so you will have the process of the box, two boxes come, like for checking this box, I confirm that I have read all the informations, and by checking, so you need to click on this two blue arrow signals over there, and then we click the next. So during this time we have to fill all the necessary details that is required, what is being asked, and it will take around like 14 days, 10 to 14 business days for you to get the USMLE ID. So after you get the USMLE ID, you can see on the left uh, down corner, there is an orange arrow. So during this time, after you get your ID, you need to click on the USMLE ID and the passport. Then after you click on that, you have the login, click on the login, and then you have the submit the application ECFMG certification. So after you click on that, you have to fill all the necessary details, what is required at that time, and then you have to pay like $150. And then after you pay that $150, 186 form will come to appear, and then the 186 form appears similar as shown in this mm, thing. So here we have the PDF form of 186 form, and we'll have the all the required a copy of the passport. That is the color. It should have a color image, and everything is written there, like what type of picture of the passport you need to have, what it should be included. So you need to use the notary cam to complete the 186 form. So there is after you pay like after you get the USMLE ID, then you have to do the notary, download the 186 form, and then after you do this process, we go to w.notary.org, click on there, and then what you need to do is that a personnel from the United States will send you an email that when you want to talk to them, and during this time, what happens is that they'll verify your emails with the passport, and then they took a signature. So here's the main process, and that you are going to get registration. So similarly, the process here is comes like ECFMG certification. So the final during the notary, they will ask you again like the email, first name, last name, phone number, passport, and the confirming passport that your USMLE ID one. So during that time, after you have given all the information you need to, this is all the 186 form process of the and taking to the notary. So we had to choose the file certification of the identification form, and we have to choose the passport, upload them, and then even the ID card. After you upload that, and the person from the United States call you, and then you talk at that moment. So the notary finishes at this moment. So after that, what you do is you go to the overview and begin a new application. So even the verification takes like 2 to 3 business days, and then after that you can begin your USMLE. So you again sign your USMLE ID and the passport, and then you can click on the USMLE begin a new application. You can click over here, and after clicking on this, you need to uh, go to the next process, that no, I have not been a registered physician licensed in the United States. So you have to click no on this and do the next. So during that time, so here is the time where you need to take the a block of the when you are trying to give the USMLE exam. It's you can give USMLE step one exam at any time at your convenience, but you need to even keep in mind that September 27 is the beginning of the cycle. So at that moment, you need to plan your step one, step two when you are going to give these exams. So there is a eligibility period, but even if you select like these days, like the period like from October 1 to December, so it is generally have like 3 months of duration between them. You can give any time that, but if you think that you are not prepared at that moment, you can still add the duration later on. But even it costs you like $180 or maybe $150. It varies like when you are applying. So after that, there is a process called the medical school verification, which will generally, when the school medical school is registered, this process is very simple. You need to ask your medical college that please verify your status, and they have the medical school have their own login ID and passport, and then they can um, just convey the message that this student a, has studied and graduate of this our medical college. So after you get your step one, like the dates, so we need to locate, take the step one, like you need to locate from, go to the prometric.com, and then when you want to locate your exam, like where when you're trying to give. So generally in Nepal, it is in Kathmandu. There is a Prometric center where you have to give exam of USMLE step one. So similarly, all the exams of the step one and step two is given in their own country, but for the step three exam, you have to go to the United States. We will be talking about details about step three exam as well, which is required for J1 or S1B visa. So how now what we'll be talking about step one exam. So after you log in with your account and pay, we need to pay like $1,195 for a step one exam. It usually increases every year. So and the passing mark with the step one is 196 marks, and it takes the duration about 5 to 7 months of preparation time, but it usually varies. And the step one exam has been turned to pass and fail. So the step materials that you have to use in step one exam is your word, and the boards and beyond videos is very helpful. We need to have like the first aid is the Bible of during all the exams. We have the USMLE RX, Pathomas, and Sketchy Micro. These are the very familiar materials. We need to learn all these things, and then we have to give the exam, because uh, it's a one-time exam. Your score matters a lot, and so you need to prepare yourself the best, and then only think of giving the exam. So it's a computer-based exam, and it is 8-hour testing, and it has 7 blocks, and each block lasts for 1 hour, and we have a 1 hour break provided between that. So one block of any step exam of step one and step two usually contain 40 questions that you need to uh, it's a multiple choice question, and the questions are very long. Usually it is like 5 to 6 lines or maybe 10 lines question, and then we have to read all those questions, and then we have to select the right answer, and then in 1 hour you need to complete 40 questions. So usually it takes around like 1 minute and 25 seconds to do one question. So you need to be very careful and understand what the question is trying to ask, and then mm, you need to give your answer. So similarly the step two exam, so once you get registration, everything comes to your email, all the details. You can follow all the details through your email address that we have given. So your email address is your everything, like everything in the United States goes with the email. So for the step two exam, we have to pay around $1,220, and it is usually you need to give step two exam usually close to step one exam, because the very information that is in the step one exam also correlates with the step two exam. Step two is a clinical knowledge, so basically you will have a lot of tables and learning the U world. So the resources here is U world, Ambus, BNB videos, and we have even divine interventional podcast. So it's a 9-hour exam with eight blocks, 8 blocks per hour and 1 hour break time. So you can think that like 9 hour exam, so we need to carry ample of foods, and then even take like 5 minutes break in between each block and get energized, and we can give the exam. So step 2 is very crucial, as step 1 has been the pass and fail, uh, has become pass and fail. So uh, you need to take your time and prepare for step 2 exam, because most of the programs use step 2 exam as the cutoff. So if you for the IMGs, it may be like 245 could be a cutoff for different programs. Some programs even take like 250s as the cutoff for the IMGs, international medical graduates. So you need to be very careful on that. So what is occupation OET? So OET is a English exam that all the uh, international medical graduates has to take. So it is generally taken from Australia, and it is divided into 4 different stages: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So it's contain 500 marks, and we need to obtain 350 marks. That gives us a gold standard of B. So in order to become the ECFMG certified for any international medical graduate, you need to give step 1 exam, step 2 exam, and OET. So it costs around $587, and it is a paper-based exam in Nepal, but it is computer-based exam based on the country. We have a computer-based exam, like in India, we can have the computer-based exam. The United States, we can have the computer-based exam, but they even do have the paper-based exam, like in the New York, some of the cities, they do have that. So the usually the have the 21 days interval of the OET, like the result comes usually after maybe around 2 to 3 weeks. So you need to be very precise on taking the dates. So usually the people after step 1 takes the OET and gives the step 2 exam. Somebody use step 1, step 2, then OET, and then become ECFMG certified. So what are the process during the ECFMG certification? So own country good standing certificate usually is given by Nepal Medical Council for Nepal. So similarly, different countries has their own um, good standing certificate. They send this, you need to apply for this process, go to your own council, and then apply for good standing certificate. This good standing certificate is sent from their council to the ECFMG. And in order to become ECFMG certified, you need to have 3 things as an exam, like step 1, step 2, step 3, and good standing certificate. So after all these documents, 4 documents is sent to the ECFMG, it usually takes 14 days, business days, to send you the hard copy of ECFMG certification, which is the certificate that is very crucial and of all your hard work. So this is my ECFMG certification, which I have completed my step 1, step 2, and the ECFMG clinical skill pathway is the OET. So after all the process, uh, we fulfill all the processes, we get the ECFMG certification. So get relaxed, but the process here does not end. We need to now, after the ECFMG certification, we have a ERAS application. We need to prepare so many things after this process. So we have a ERAS application. In ERAS application, there is a CV. The application usually opens at the end of September, so that we apply to the different program. So we have in the ERAS application all your clinical work that we have done in your country and that you are going to do in the United States. All the clinical work would be there. There we have voluntary experiences and research experiences, which you need to keep in 10 bullet points, like your most significant one. And so if you want to make your CV more stronger, you must have the US clinical experience. Usually you have to apply to the program to get the observership, and the MSPE is usually provided by the your medical school, which signifies your different grading in different year, like the marks or the percentage, whatever you have gained, that will be sent to the ECFMG. So usually you required 4 letter of recommendation. So that could be the head of department from your own country, and usually the 3 recommendation if you provide from the United States, that is very valuable. After that, you need to have a good ERAS photo, and then you can apply to a very different subspecialty you want, like the surgery, dermatology, and the diagnostic radiology. Seems to be competitive for IMGs. Usually, the more internal medicine, pediatrics are the choice of international medical graduates. But it's not that the people do not imagine diagnostic radiology or the uh, surgery. They do they are Nepalese, and the different people from the international medical graduates will get into this subspecialty. So these are the letter of recommendations, MSP, and the personal statement. So I'll be talking about the personal statement. That is, you have to write about all about you, about your things, that why you want to get into the subspecialty. We'll be talking in detail about the personal statement in my next blog. So basically, it is something composing, compelling a personal statement that showcase your unique qualities, experiences, and passion for the subspecialty you're pursuing. Use this opportunity to demonstrate why you are in ideal candidates. So medical school, as I told you, like the MSP is generally your overall achievement during the medical school, and letter of recommendation. So these things, after even after the ECFMG certification, what are the things you're required is your CV, your letter of recommendation, MSPE, and personal statement. So now, in order to apply to the different programs, you need to even pay for this. So if you, for the one program subspecialty, if you're applying, you can choose up to 10, and you need to pay like $99. Like suppose if you're applying for internal medicine, 10 programs in the different parts of the United States, you need to pay $99. And if you are applying for 11 to 22 program, so the initial would be $99, and for the next, again, for the subsequent, you need to add $19. So if you're applying for more than 30 programs, like 21 to 30, you need to pay like $289 for the first 20, and plus 23 for each additionals. So if you are applying for more than 30 program, so at that time we have to add like $27 for each. So basically, if you are applying for, generally the international medical graduates apply for, when they're applying for internal medicine, they usually apply 150 to 200 programs. So each program at that time would be costing, after 30 programs, would be costing $27. So the residency interview starts from September. uh, as the cycle ends, the program usually review the application. Your whole holistic application is being reviewed, from all the steps, exams, your ECFMG certification time, your CV, personal statement, letter of recommendations. So all these things are reviewed, and the program now send you an interview. So interview is a very important aspect of USMLE, where the people are sent the invite to interact for maybe around 20 minutes for each of these faculty, or they usually uh, where they see the communication skills of the applicant, and they see the two things: is this person fit for the program, and vice versa. So after this interview date, so the different interview number is sent to different applicants, and after the interview, what happens is that we wait for the math process. When math process usually is on March 14, 15, it usually varies. So here at that moment, the email is awaited, and if we have that you are matched, then we get into the residency. But what if you are not? So during that time, there is a SWOP, that is a supplemental offer and acceptance program. The one who get matched starts the residency, and the one who do not can go into the SWOP. So SWOP is the time where the applicants can apply 45 programs for free to the different unfulfilled space in different programs. And if they even do not get accepted in the SOAP, they have to apply the next year. So the step 3 exam usually, the one person can, if the people can give the step 3 exam before applying to before like the September 27, which is the last day of where the cycle begins. So if we have step 3 exam before we are applying to the different program, your CV is very strong at that moment. So is usually step 3 exam. This is the moment where I was coming to the United States to give the step 3 exam. So if someone has step 3 and if the program offers H1B visa, they can get the H1B. But if they do not have step 3 exam, but the program offers the H1B still, so step 3 exam costs like $915. And it is not 1 day exam, it is a 2 day exam. So day 1 exam is like 7 hours with 6 blocks, and each block has 40 questions. So there will be around 232 questions in each block, and 38 to 39 questions per block an hour. So there is a abstract and so many things that varies the question number, like 38 to 39. And day 2 exam is a 9-hour exam. So we have 6 blocks per hour and 13 CCS case. So CCS case is like similarly a patient, it's a clinical case where the patient comes with the symptoms. What are the types of investigation you say, what are the types of treatment you give, what are the different referrals we do. So everything, it comes in this CCS case, and we have like 10 to 20 minutes each case, and we have total 13 case. So this is all about step 3 exam. So conclusion is that the cost of the USMLE journey will be, cost of 4 exams is around like an average is $4,000. And if we apply to 160 to 180 programs, we have the next $4,000. And you have for considering the flight tickets and staying in the United States, we have $7,000. So the total cost of USMLE journey varies from $15,000 to $20,000. So if you have someone relative where you can stay in the United States during giving the step 3 exam and during your observership, you can save money. So closing thought is that the USMLE accesses a physician capacity to provide the patient-centric and comprehensive care. There is a teamwork and collaborations, and the USMLE is not a destination but a journey. Enjoy the trip, take pride in your achievement, and remain positive throughout. So when you learn, you teach. When you get, give. So that's why I'm trying to share with everyone my journey of USMLE. Hope this video, you like this video. I took a lot of time to collaborate with so many things. So hit like, subscribe my channel. Thank you.